Everyone's talking about AI agents, but they're not giving enough examples.
AI
agent.
Agents.
agentic workflows.
I'm going to show you how AI agents have completely changed the way my entire marketing team operates, allowing us to move 100 times faster with a smaller team than ever before. Today, I'm going to walk through the 12 highest leverage sub-agents we've used for driving real revenue for our business. And the cool thing is you don't have to be technical to use this to drive real revenue for your marketing funnel. We're going to go through agents that cover things such as SEO, conversion rate optimization, paid media, content repurposing, webinars, email funnels, all these different cognitive marketing tasks that you might have had other people do before. You can now have these sub-agents do for you. Let's get into it. The first sub-agent that we're going to go with is the SEO Optimizer. What this one does is it will connect with your Google Search Console and your Google Analytics. It'll look at all the data. It'll figure out what type of content is actually performing well for you, what has high impressions, low click-through rate, where maybe those need updating from a meta description and title standpoint so you can get higher clicks. Or it'll figure out the areas of our opportunity you should be attacking from a category standpoint, trending keywords, things that look like they're on the up and up, things that are converting well for you. And then it'll generate more pages for you from a programmatic SEO standpoint. So now you have not only an SEO technical consultant, you have someone that will execute for you as well. So this SEO Optimizer, you can plug into your Claude Code instance, and imagine being able to do this very quickly. You analyze it yourself, and then by doing that, you are now able to do your work, 2, 3, 4 times faster while not having to break the bank doing it. So the very first one is the SEO Optimizer. Now, the second sub-agent is the ABM Orchestrator. ABM stands for account-based marketing. Now, it might seem a little complex, but I can guarantee you this applies for almost anybody that's doing business. So an ABM Orchestrator might make a list of your target ICP fits, so ideal client profile fits, so your ideal customers, right? You're targeting those people, and then it'll automatically spin up ads for them that are personalized, and then it'll optimize those ads based on whatever is performing, and then it'll report back to you on the performance. And by doing this is a lot of the rote, annoying manual tasks that people don't typically get to, but being able to do this at scale, this is now new work that wasn't possible before. But with an ABM Orchestrator, typically what happens is you're going for higher value accounts. By having an agent, a sub-agent that's constantly on top of this, you are now able to make sure that you are chasing not only new revenue, but acquiring lost revenue that was neglected. Now, the third one is the CRO Scientist. So CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. So imagine if you have a sub-agent that is working on conversion rate optimization for you. So we'll take a look at your Google Search Console data, your Google Analytics data, or whatever other data you have. Now, keep in mind, whenever I talk about connecting in with Google Search Console or Google Analytics or any of these tools in these sub-agents, that usually means that you're going to hook in with a MCP, which is Model Context Protocol, and that allows these apps to talk to each other, these LLMs to talk to these apps. Now, with a CRO Scientist, what's going to happen is it's going to look at the pages that are converting well for you, pages that aren't converting as well. Maybe it'll look at the pages you have too. So you can actually drag in the pages that you have right now. You can also show the funnel that you have going on, and it'll look at all the data that you have, and then it'll prioritize what it thinks are the highest leverage tests. In fact, last night I was doing this, basically came up with 5 super high leverage tests, and it scored them on impact, confidence, ease. This is known as the ICE model, right? So if you score everything on impact, confidence, ease, well, that allows you to better prioritize these tests in terms of what is the impact, how confident are you, how easy is it to run these tests. You can deploy these tests using browser-based or Vercel or whatever other MCP of your choice, and then you can choose to approve the test if you want to run it or not. And then what it's going to do, it's going to run the test, and it's going to report on the results, and then it's going to report back on the results, and then also archive the learnings too. So you're going to have a sheet that shows you over time how these tests are performing. And I can tell you from running this CRO Scientist, we already have one of our developers that's already implementing 2 of these, okay? And it's looking at where the drop-off is, and it's being very scientific about it. It's saying, hey, what is the lifetime value of a customer for you? Oh, what is the actual conversion that you're trying to optimize for? And then based on that, it's reporting back on the estimated lift that we're going to see from these tests, and also the estimated revenue we're going to see from this. I don't know of any CRO that I can just tap anytime I want and also give me a revenue projection, because people are busy. Now that I don't have to wait for it, screw it. Like, I'm just not going to wait anymore. I'm just going to go for it and get it done. All these sub-agents I'm talking about, you can have them working in tandem. You can have them working on their own. It is just one of the ultra high forms of leverage you're going to get today. I don't care if you're a founder that's watching this. I don't care if you're a marketing leader. You should learn how to do this. Let's get to the next agent. So the fourth one is the email nurturer. And the email nurturer, what it does is it will design email flows for you. So it can be for nurturing, it can be for onboarding sequences, it can be for churn save, it can be for designing completely new sales sequences for you. And the whole idea is that, again, you don't need to have someone on top of it. In fact, you can have this email nurturer look at all the emails that you've written in the past that have performed well for you and learn to write in that voice, and it will do the job for you. And by the way, the cool thing about these sub-agents is it's not hard to build these. Once you have Claude Code set up, you could basically just say, hey, I want to build more agents. Here's the context. And you can dictate it using whatever dictation tool of your choice. And it will actually prompt out the sub-agent. And then you can just keep running these whenever you want. And you could optimize these over time and make them better and better over time, right? And so the whole idea is you can spin these up very quickly, run them. And if they start to need a little tune up, you can tune it up. And that is the beauty of these, right? So this email nurture, it's going to help you onboard people to make them happy. It's going to help nurture people too. So when they're ready to buy, maybe it'll bubble them up. Maybe it'll help you upsell as well. It'll help you cross-sell. The whole idea here is you have everything. You're able to quickly dictate what you want and then have all these apps talk to each other. And therefore, not only are you going to just help your customers more, but you're going to drive more revenue for your business. Number 5, you got the paid ads optimizer. So this will literally look at your ad accounts, look at what's performing, what isn't performing. It'll stop whatever's not performing. It'll scale what is performing. And maybe it might ask you as a human in the loop type of thing. And maybe it'll look at your creatives too. Maybe there's a Figma plugin that you have, and maybe there's an ads plugin that you have, and a redesign creatives for you, or maybe it'll make different versions of creatives for you. You can use, there's different ad tools that are out there. There's tools such as Arc Ads that you can use to make different versions of whatever is working. And just by doing this, how many more ads are you going to be able to create? And with you not having to play whack-a-mole for each and every creative that's not performing or each and every ad that's not performing, that's going to give you more time leverage to do things that are more important for your business. Now, number 6, we got the webinar producer. Now, I don't know about you, but in B2B for us, webinars crush it. In fact, Neil, who I do the podcast with, each webinar for them, it makes them $400,000. So webinars are gold, especially if you're in B2B. What you can do with a webinar producer is it will look at trending topics. Maybe it'll server your email list. Maybe it'll look at content that's performing well on your YouTube channel. And then maybe it'll come up with a couple ideas for webinars based on whatever trending topics it sees from maybe some SEO tools that you have, right? Maybe search trends that are out there. And then it'll compare it with the data that you have. And then it'll come up with ideas that are high leverage for you. It will also craft the invite sequences for your webinar. Okay, so you invite people 2 weeks out, 1 week out, 1 day before, starting now, right? And then the follow-up to the webinar after, it'll craft those sequences too. They'll also create the slides for you too, based on your brand guidelines. Maybe you'll use a slide deck tool that you have connected as a sub-agent, right? Then you can just make sure you have a human in the loop that completes the last mile, the last 10% or so. But that saves a ton of time. There's a lot of prep work that goes into our webinars, and you can combine this webinar sub-agent with the paid ads one that I just mentioned, and then it can craft the paid ads that tie in with the webinar. And so you can see all these things are connecting with each other. You could say, hey, I want you, paid ads sub-agent, to work with the webinar sub-agent, just make sure that everything is performing right. We are literally moving into a world. And as I talk about this right now, this is the worst that it's ever going to be. So it is not time to dismiss this. Again, I don't care if you are an intern. I don't care if you're a founder of a company. I don't care if you're a leader. You got to get into this right now. Not getting into this is being irresponsible, not only to your company, but to yourself. So number 7 is your customer success sub-agent. So customer success means that whenever you see revenue increase on a customer, or you see NPS, net promoter score, if a customer says that they're happy when they fill out like an NPS survey, well, you can automatically ask them for a referral. You can automatically ask them for a testimonial. From there, you can upsell that account. You can cross-sell that account, right? That allows you to collect more revenue at the end of the day. Not only that, this sub-agent will allow you to track rewards that you give to these customers over time, what rewards actually pan out well. And you can also see over time what the LTV, the lifetime value is of these customers where you're actually having the sub-agent help them, because you do want higher LTV. If it's increasing your LTV, you want to do more of it, right? There's a lot more that you can do by helping people, because that's what business is at the end of the day. It's about helping your customers. So number 8, you got the PR Newsjacker. So the PR Newsjacker, it will scan all people or all news around your industry. Whatever is happening, if you can capitalize on it, if you can insert yourself into the news cycle in some way, shape, or form. Let's say, for example, the Sydney Sweeney ad, for example, American Eagle, right? That ad did really well for American Eagle, and it got a lot of blowback, right? If there's a way for you to capitalize on the blowback of anything, you think about Coldplay, right? That CEO that got caught and eventually got fired, right? How do you capitalize on the news cycle in some way, shape, or form? How do you insert your product into it organically, right? But if you have this PR Newsjacker, it can find the news that's happening and then think about how your product or service relates to that, and it can reach out to all these journalists and say, hey, we just saw that what you wrote about this XYZ. Here's how we think this is related to the story ABC, right? So maybe you're not pitching your product or service like that, but you're talking about how it might relate. And maybe, just maybe, a certain percentage of the time people respond. So let's say this PR Newsjacker sends out 100 of these potential ideas, and maybe 5 people respond, and maybe it leads to 2 pieces where you're getting published. Well, that's 2 pieces that didn't happen before. And again, this is new work that wasn't necessarily doable at a very high level before, and now it's doable at a very high level and a very consistent level. All right, number 9, you got the Partnership Scout. And so what the Partnership Scout allows you to do is it will look for potential partners, maybe webinar partners, content collaboration partners. Maybe you're doing a podcast, a YouTube type of thing. Maybe you're going to go speak at a conference. Maybe you guys can swap, or maybe there's a newsletter type of deal, right? You're going to have this partnership sub-agent go out there and try to arrange these for you. Maybe, by the way, you have this Partnership Scout, continue to work on it. Maybe there's different angles they could pitch every single month. It continues to make an organic list of the people that you should be partnering up with, and you approve or disapprove, and then it'll continue to train on that. And then you can just have it, you can dictate a new offer every single month or so, maybe a couple different offers, and test these offers and see what works. And whatever offer tends to perform, well, maybe the sub-agent will double down on that offer and then shut down the other ones. And you can just continue to do this because there's no shortage of ideas. If you're listening to this right now, if you're a creative person, if you're a founder, again, I don't even care if you're an intern. If you're an ideas person, you now have unlimited potential because it is no longer the capacity to get the work done. It actually comes down to how good your ideas are. Now, number 10, you've got the Content Repurposer. The Content Repurposer is that this YouTube video that I'm making right now, imagine that it makes it into a email newsletter. It makes it into short form content. It makes it into threads or X posts or LinkedIn posts, and it knows how I write. It follows my writer guidelines, my style. It'll look at how I write on X. It'll look at how I write on LinkedIn. It'll look at how I write on the newsletter, and then it'll just carry that writing style over. But no longer do I need to think about, even, people like to say, oh, just hire someone nearshore, offshore, or hire someone that's an intern. Well, no. How about I just hire someone that's AI enabled that knows how to manage the sub-agent, and we just do that? Because that sounds a lot more predictable to me. That sounds a lot more fun too, and then people don't want to do the boring work. How about we just do that? In a world, I think, where organic distribution is becoming more and more important, I believe that this Content Repurposer is going to become one of the most important sub-agents that anyone has out there.
Most AI writing tools were built by engineers who've never written a blog post in their lives. ClickFlow is entirely different. It's built by my team of SEO marketers and learns your business inside out, delivering automated, scalable content that is optimized for search engines and reads like it was crafted by your own team. No more managing freelancers, no more babysitting briefs, just press go and grow. So head to clickflow.com and get your first 25,000 words free. That's not a typo, 25,000. Go get them. clickflow.com.
Now, number 11, you got the Analytics Sub-Agent. So the Analytics Sub-Agent will look at your finance data. It will look at your sales data. It'll look at your CRM data. It'll look at everything that you decide to give it, right? But the key thing is that it'll apply to your OKRs, your objectives and key results, or your KPIs, your company KPIs for the quarter, key performance indicators. It'll just show you every week. And then maybe it'll give you an option in your Slack to assign these action items to people and with due dates. And that way you don't have to keep doing this manual work every week to see, hey, are we on track? Are we off track or not? Hey, who's this going to be assigned to? What's the due date? And then you have to follow up on these things. You can even have this sub-agent follow up with people in public, in Slack. Maybe you have your leadership team. Maybe it's constantly following up if things aren't getting done, if things aren't getting marked off. Now, that's a layer of accountability that most people wouldn't like, but if it's your executive team, it's your leadership team, they should like that level of accountability because leaders do like being accountable. Leaders work hard and leaders don't mind the accountability. Now, last but not least, number 12, you got the Persona Refiner. This is important because when you think about your most valuable customers, you think about who has the highest average order value or what are the highest LTV, lifetime value customers. You want to design around those. You want to cluster your LTV customers, your high LTV customers, and then you want to maybe update your ICP documents. So the sub-agent can just do it for you. It will help you recluster, reprioritize, and then also it'll help you reset your ad creative, your messaging based on this high LTV cluster, right? And it maybe can make multiple clusters for you and it can refine the messaging for those. But the key thing is that someone's on it. It doesn't have to just be something that's picked up randomly every quarter or every 6 months or so, or worse, every couple years. You just have these things constantly working for you, and then these things will continue to learn over time and get better with you as time goes on. As you continue to feed it more context, as you continue to feed it more data, it's only going to improve with time. So that is the power of these sub-agents. I know that one of the highest leverage things that you're going to do this year is learn how to do this. You don't have to be technical. You can hire a coach off of Upwork to teach you this. So if you want to see how I use AI in my marketing, by the way, you want to check out this video on 9 overpowered ChatGPT strategies to 10x revenue. I'll see you over there.